That was the best girl in the country.
15 Equity Bank University Mentorship and Leadership Program scholars have gained admission to world-leading universities. The scholars were among 250 others who sat their Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE exams, emerging tops in their districts. 8 ladies and 7 gentlemen were offered scholarships by leading universities while going through the Mentorship and Leadership Program designed to nurture Kenya's future leaders.
This is a program of university scholarship that started in 1998 with Equity Bank. By that time, we could only sponsor our candidates or beneficiaries to public universities in Kenya. But over the last 3 years, we realized the potential and the opportunity of exposing some of these very best and most gifted leaders to a global environment. And I'm glad that we now have nearly 65 of those students out in the Ivy League schools.
Lydia Katini Mwangasha has been admitted to Harvard University. She sat her Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exams at the Kenya High School, emerging the top girl in the country. Her teachers remember her as a hard-working girl whose determination to excel knew no bounds.
The news that she was not only the best in the school but the best in the country was simply too exciting.
Katini has been a source of inspiration to ongoing students at her former school, where she is occasionally invited to give talks on selected topics. Today, Katini is discussing careers to her Form 1 class studying music.
You can do anything when you're in Form 1 because you are young. You have a whole life ahead of you. You have a whole 3 years ahead of you.
The last-born child of the Mwangasha family has come home to bid farewell to her parents and siblings before embarking on the safari to Nairobi, some 500 kilometers away, to take her flight to the US.
Katini mwanangu. Mungu akubariki. She is one very determined person.
The family bids her farewell with words of encouragement. Katini's brother reminds her to keep in touch while abroad. For the first time since the introduction of the program, a scholar was admitted to the East. Trevor Omangi, admitted to Seoul National University in South Korea, left early to first learn Korean.
I'm going to do mechanical and aerospace engineering. Yeah, I love dealing with stuff like rockets and engines.
Mercy Chepto hails from Kericho, where she learned to pick tea in her grandmother's small-scale tea farm. Her mother passed when she was only 10, forcing her and her brothers and sisters to shift to the rural home at Sosiot.
She was just sick for 2 months. I remember that we were in 2004. She passed away in July 2004 when I was in class 6.
In spite of hardships and a disrupted life to fit a new setting, Chepto emerged the best girl in Kericho district. She will be joining Brown University in the US, where she hopes to study economics. Another resident of Kericho is headed for yet another top university in the US. Javan Felix Oluoch has been admitted to Yale University, where he hopes to study engineering.
That's like my passion, but then more engineering doesn't matter. What matters is the leader in me, so that when after finishing my university education, I can come back, give to the community as an engineer and also as a Kenyan.
It will be a great impact, especially for those people who knows it. For the school, people will get inspiration knowing that working hard, you'll also get somewhere.
Oluoch, Kiplagat and Chepto are among 5 Equity Bank Mentorship and Leadership scholars who applied to the top universities through the Kenya Scholar Athlete Program, KENSAP.
The first qualification, a student must have scored an A in the KCSE exams, and then you must also be gifted in athletics, that is running particularly, which really helps you a lot, especially in the college applications, because the universities require a lot of talent that is apart from the academics.
If you look at the current trend, we've benefited from people who have been mentored and coached. 5 of them are from KENSAP program, while 10 are from our program. And that really creates a critical number of 15 going to to foreign university in one single year.
Fiona Shina Lebo was born and brought up at the southern frontier district town of Loitoktok at the foot of the imposing peaks of Kibo and Mawenzi peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro. Shina has been an inspiration for the pupils of her former school, where she was nurtured and now finds time to mentor others to take education seriously. Shina emerged tops in her district to gain admission to the Equity Bank Leadership and Mentorship Program that involved internship at the branch located in her Loitoktok hometown. Although Shina has done well for herself and family, it is her impact on the attitudes towards education of the girl child that will have the deepest reach for the community.
Knowing that some girls from our community don't get to study, most of them are undergo FGM and then go for early marriages. It's depressing, but I know for someone like me to see that I can go to such levels, it will even encourage the parents of those girls to educate their children, because we are the change.
The girls' performance is going to send a very strong message to the community. If you look at the challenges like issues of FGM, early marriages, the issues of Moranism, which have so much affected the community in terms of education, such that the level of literacy is very, very low. And for such a girl to do that well and even to get an opportunity to join one of the best universities in the world, it is a very positive thing to this community, because she will be like a role model to other young girls who are in school.
Some 500 kilometers in Eldoret, where Shina sat the KCSE exam, students learn that their former schoolmate has gained admission to the highest rated university in the world.
One of our own, Lebo Shina. You remember Lebo Shina? Yes. She has been picked by none other than Harvard University.
Steve Kipruto Cheriot is another student who has been the pride of his parents and the community in Kericho. We caught up with the family in town, where Kipruto serves at the Equity Bank branch during Equity University Students Leadership and Mentorship Program stint.
We are grateful that Steve has got such a chance. We are also grateful that God has opened a way for him to join Equity since last year up to now. And we have seen a lot that has been done to mold him even better.
Kipruto will be joining Columbia University, where he hopes to study architecture.
If I could do architecture and come up with very cheap buildings so that we can be able to accommodate those people who are living in the slums.
Another scholar determined to become an architect is Sylvia Nashipae Mosiani. Nashipae is the only one among the students admitted to the top universities to have attended a mixed day school in Nakuru.
I'd love to pioneer in building sustainable houses for Kenyans. Not just for those who can afford it, but if we can turn our slums into sustainable housing where the lighting, the energy, the water is all able to sustain itself through recycling and using clean energy.
Nashipae's admission to Smith University is a source of pride to her family.
Make this country proud.
This girl has actually written history, permanent history in Menengai High School. And in light of that, we feel on top of the world.
Personally, it's become a self-driven motto that working hard, being focused, so that at least I can achieve or try to achieve a mark.
Harriet Wanjiku was born and brought up on the slopes of Mount Kenya. She sat her KCSE at Kabare Girls Emerging Tops in Kirinyaga district, where she lives and assists in the family chores and farming activities.
I've grown up from a humble background. It has shown me that I have to work hard and work very, very hard to perform in whatever area I get into. My father is a taxi driver. He's the main breadwinner of our family. The small amount that we get from the taxi, we mostly use it for our major expenses, as in food and clothing when needed.
She is actually acting as a role model, that it does not matter the background you come from. What matters is your determination and what you put in terms of work, hard work. That is what will give you the grade at the end of the day.
At the annual District Education Prize Giving Day, hundreds of students listened keenly to what it takes to succeed, and Harriet gave guidance on the application process to international universities.
For you to apply to the colleges in the state, they require you to get recommendation letters from your teachers. They also require you to get A grades or A minus grades for big concepts. And then they also require you to engage in extracurricular activities.
Davies Muthoka has lived all his life in the semi-arid parts of lower eastern Kenya. Muthoka's parents are farmers who have embraced irrigation farming with guidance from their son, who takes time to provide a hands-on engagement to grow the family business. When Muthoka sat for KCSE and attained a mean grade of A, he went back to his primary school and volunteered to teach for no pay as his personal commitment to give back to society.
I also had chances to talk to my fellow youth, especially those in high school. And I always tell them to keep working hard. There's always a reward for whatever effort you put into your work.
It is also a challenge. We are very grateful. It's a challenge to the other youth of the area.
Alan Marube is another alumnus of Alliance High School, joining a top university in the United States. Marube is from Ngong and will be proceeding to Princeton to study engineering.
I believe Kenya has a bright future ahead of us. We have all the opportunities, we have the resources that we need, the oil mines that have been discovered. I believe it's an opportunity for the young people and everyone else in general that whatever they do, they might focus their minds on what opportunities there may be in the country and to capitalize on them and see what they can do to benefit not only themselves but the entire country.
Alliance School is keen to see students choose careers that resonate with the needs of the economy.
I always tell students to go for their best dream. Always to go for what they would enjoy doing. Let them look at those careers where they will look at where they would be in the next 20 years. What would they be doing? Many of those jobs some of these students or the careers some of them are going to serve are not yet even discovered yet. And it is people like them who are going to come up with the new things.
Marube is the inspiration the school lives by as a constant reminder that they too have the potential to excel.
Having a student, one of our own, who has been through this school and performed well, go to such an institution as Princeton, one thing is it's very inspiring. It gives everyone a lot of hope about the kind of opportunities that you can open up simply by being a great academician.
The celebration of achievement comes naturally for the Singore Girls High School 2012 candidates class. News that Joan Jebet Yago, a former student of the school, has been admitted to Bowdoin University is incentive enough for them to perform just as well. Jebet has been a frequent visitor to her former school, where she rewrote history by attaining the best grade ever in national exams. She is the epitome of success that students here look up to as a source of inspiration from a mentor who is friendly and therefore easy to relate with.
We normally do 9 subjects, and then there is that remedial. So how did you manage to tackle all those, then you become successful?
What will guide you so much is the timetable, your personal timetable. You have to plan your time.
Jebet is allocated time by the school to mentor her former colleagues in classes at the school. In time, she has gained the stature of the volunteer counselor on academic, personal affairs and hygiene matters, who is helping to mold the girls to women of character.
We feel very privileged to have had Joanne, to have taken us to the international standards. And this is an inspiration to the other students that actually if you work, you can reach the sky.
The 15 scholars include Francis Mwandikwa, admitted to Lake Forest College, Monica Gashihi going to the University of Richmond, and Joshua Obinchu joining Harvard.
The scholarship is intended to create future leaders. And since it's a national selection method of the best in society, chances is that they will naturally head into leadership. So by the year 2030, I believe those students will not only have finished school, but will have greater been exposed and will be at an age to take leadership.
All these scholars are super achievers. They dream big, work hard and maintain discipline to realize their goals. They are driven by virtues to succeed together with their families, the community, society and humankind. Their common goal is self-belief guided by education, training and mentorship for leadership in a not-so-far future.